Whenever you're ready. We're good?
We're recording.
I'd like to go ahead and open up the Warrenton Board of Aldermen meeting for Tuesday, April 18, 2023. If you would, please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Well, we're sitting down, but we might as well stand up because I think we're about ready to do the Arbor Day coloring contest winners. Did I jump the gun for you? Did I jump the gun for you?
Good evening. Tonight we have four of the coloring contest winners for Arbor Day with us today. When I call your name, please come forward and find your picture here on the stack here. From Daniel Boone Elementary is Lincoln Hans. Just stand right over here. And face everybody, you can hold it up so they can all see it. From Rebecca Boone Elementary, we have Vander Huff. And then from Warrior Ridge Elementary, we have Emma DeGraff. And from Holy Rosary, we have David Schneider. And you can see all the other entries plastered over the room, and there's even more outside, I think. So we had a lot of entries this year, so these four did a great job.
Brandy, we're going to take about 5 minutes in this. Let's go ahead and get pictures like that. We'll come down and then have parents come down so we can get some pictures of everybody.
This was judged by our park board, if anybody was wondering. So we did that last week.
Mind we scoot behind you guys? Can I scoot behind you?
One, two, three. All right.
We have parents come up with their children and get pictures there. Yeah, I like that. You want to grab some pictures of them because you have some years to do that. Grab each one with their parent.
Oh, sure.
That's cool. Before you guys walk off with your kids, if we can get some with you guys standing behind them too, please. With all of you guys. If you don't mind, all the families behind them. It's kind of more important than actually the officials of them. Yeah. A family for you.
Yeah. Hopefully we don't see no more weather like that.
I think you can take them. Also, these pictures will be posted on our social media. Unless anybody has any issues with that, please call me tomorrow at City Hall. But if not, we'll post all these pictures on social media. Again, thanks for everybody's participation in that. That's a big deal for the Park Board and Arbor Day. We really appreciate the participation, and that's for everybody as well.
And everybody kind of walks in and goes, "What's going on?" But we're actually, I think it's pretty cool when they draw all the pictures and we like posting them up and kind of making them the wallpaper for the day. So thank you guys. Appreciate it.
Nice job. Thank you, guys.
Great job.
Thank you, everyone.
All right. Before we actually get into the meat of the meeting, I'd like to call the attention to the removal of Section 17C. Due to some paperwork issues and some, I said 17, I meant 14. I apologize, 14C. just due to some technical issues that'll be posted later on in the agenda, so we're holding off on that. All right, so the next item is the consent agenda.
We have the regular meeting minutes from April 4th, 2023.
Entertain a motion to approve the consent agenda items as submitted.
Second.
Motion made by Alderman McCullum, seconded by Alderman Crump. Roll call vote.
Alderman Crump,
Yes.
Alderman Corder,
Yes.
Alderman Cullum,
Yes.
Alderman Jaspering.
Yes.
The motion passes 4-0 with 2 absent.
The wrong.
What's that?
I think we had the wrong agenda posted up there.
Give me 1 sec. All right, next item will be the certification of election results. Are there any questions on that? Nope. I will entertain a motion to approve the certification of election results from April 4th, 2023 election.
So moved. Second.
Motion made by Alderman Corder, seconded by Alderman Cullum. Roll call vote.
Alderman Corder,
Yes.
Alderman Cullum,
Yes.
Alderman Jaspering,
Yes.
Alderman Crump.
Yes.
Motion passes 4-0 with 2 absent. Presentation of a plaque. Want to come up front, Mr. Jasper?
Yeah. I don't think you. Yes.
City of Warrenton extends sincere appreciation to Jeff Jaspering for serving as Alderman Ward 3 from 2021 to 2023. Your genuine dedication and heartfelt service to the community have truly benefited the residents of our city, Mayor Alderman Schluter, or Mayor Eric Schluter and Warrenton Board of Aldermen. But I wanted to go ahead and say, when we first got together, I appreciate your honesty and I appreciate the things you said. I really do.
Yeah.
I know we didn't always agree, but you were always honest and upfront with things, and I really do, honestly, genuinely appreciate that. So,
Yeah. Thank you.
it's up to you.
Oh. Yeah, that's fine.
Ready for the oath of office? There's one individual that is not here, but we'll do the rest. Okay?
So we can just swear in?
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah, we got to swear.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah. Can't do it. Supposed to. But it needs to take the time. This is supposed to be enough.
Please raise your, excuse me, please raise your right hand and repeat after me. I do solemnly swear that I possess all of the qualifications for the position of mayor or alderman for the city of Warrenton as prescribed by law, that I will support the Constitution of the United States and the state of Missouri, the provisions of all laws of this state affecting this city, and the code of ordinances of the city of Warrenton, and that I will faithfully demean myself in office. Congratulations.
It's hard to move you. Can I get back to you at the end?
Yes.
All right, thank you. Now all the fancy stuff's done. Yeah. Election of a board president. Any nominations?
I nominate Jack Crump.
Anyone?
I was gonna say, do we still do that with that many gone, or does it matter? Lawyer?
I mean, you can hold off if with the lawyer advised. With 2 missing. With 3 missing, I guess.
And I'm sorry, I missed the question that was.
Election of board president, should we hold off and wait? We can table that.
You certainly can, yes, that's
I mean,
fine.
do we have to, or?
We don't have to.
You don't have
Man, we
to.
got a new one coming in, so I recommend we wait.
Okay, yeah, let's stay. I don't think anybody will still remain board president until next meeting, so we'll go ahead and table that. Take a vote to table it, I guess I should say. I will entertain a motion to table the election of a board president until next meeting.
So moved.
Second.
Motion made by Alderman McCullum, seconded by Alderman Quarter. Roll call vote. All right.
Alderman Jaspering?
Yes.
Alderman Crump?
Yes.
Alderman Quarter?
Yes.
Alderman Cullum?
Yes.
Motion passes 4-0 with 2 absent. Next week, public comments. Anybody who'd like to come up and address us, you'll have 5 minutes to speak. Please come to the podium, state your name, and we'll talk.
Good evening, I'm Jane Kelly. I'm with Warren County Fragile Homeless. I volunteer as a retired registered nurse. 2 months ago, I came and presented a short movie we made, and I asked 2 questions. Can we have a person in a place? I didn't hear any response for 30 days. I came last month and I said, can we have a person in a place? I've heard very clearly that you had had discussion, that you said we absolutely could not have a person, and that someone was going to get back with me to see if we could have a temporary emergency place for triage. So I'm here on the third round. I'd like to hear your comments. Was there any discussion? Will we be able to have an emergency temporary place for our homeless? Tonight's statistics we're number 6 in the state of Missouri for homeless by percentage. Our statistics by the city in the last 30 days have improved, and they have over the area. Troy and Warren County lessened over Easter, so that's great, and the weather's warmer. So I'd just like to hear your response. Did you have any more discussion?
I don't believe we have. I believe we were waiting to see what the election result were and being able to speak to everybody that may be involved or not involved in it. Also, I think the only, am I not picking up? Is it shut down? I mean, I'm not going to bother with it, but.
There you go.
Okay. But as far as what you're asking in the park, I mean, there's a lot of logistics behind just saying it's okay to do a park. I mean, we got to look at if somebody gets hurt on there, who's eligible for it. If it is, if we do decide to open it up, are we going to have them sign waivers? I mean, there's a lot of logistics behind that. It's just not as simple as saying yes or no.
Oh, and again, I totally agree. This is a big problem, and it has to have real intelligent, big answers, and I don't know that the park is the answer.
Right.
That was just thrown out as a for instance. So I couldn't hear you real well. I think I'm getting old and my hearing's a little bad, but
that's why I was.
Okay, but could you just repeat your response to me just so I can, you said at the next board meeting?
I think we were kind of waiting to see what the election results were going to be and see if there was any new discussion we needed to have with people. I think it's a fair assessment to give somebody who may be new on the board or would have been new on the board.
Okay.
But I also think this is probably not something we're going to give you an answer for probably in the next 2 weeks, to be honest. I think this is something we're going to have to hold a workshop on and really kind of get into the nitty-gritty of what's entailed and if this is feasible for us to do.
Okay, and last meeting I had offered, no one called to take me up on it, but if you wanted a one-on-one, or if you wanted tutorials, or if you wanted any other information. So my offer still stands. If there's anything I can do to bring assistance or what I've learned to the table or what area our surrounding neighbors are doing, whatever I can do to help.
I don't
Thank
believe
you.
we're trying to ignore it. We're just trying to get down to the bottom of where we stand before we start a workshop, so we have a basis to go from.
Okay.
Yeah, and
Thank
Jane,
you. Uh-huh.
what, you said 6%, you're saying that Warrenton is 6%?
No, I'm saying Warren County. Warren County, there's 114 counties, and every day you can go to 211mo.211counts.org, and anyone can do it, although it might take me, I could show you how to do it. It took me a minute to figure it out, and you can look at your statistics, and then you can sort it by percentage, which was that. Out of 114 counties, we are number 6. We're only under St. Louis, Cape Girardeau, Kansas City, and I forget the other one, and then Warren County. It's very odd. We shouldn't be there at all.
Well, Jane,
When you go by the count, we're not in the top 10, but we have been in the top 10 for homeless as a county for 12 years that I've been monitoring it.
and I apologize for this, but we're the city. We're not the county. So those numbers mean, they're not specific to this community.
I'd like to
city,
show you
so-
why that is significant,
But
because
that's,
in the...
well, let's try to stay to the city where we're at, because again, as I said earlier, last week, or last time you were here, this city has donated $20,000 to Agape. And in my heart, I feel good about what we've done, and this community feels good about it. So please, you're quoting county things, and I'm looking at our city, okay?
How many
my only
homeless do you
concern.
have in Warrenton tonight?
I'm sorry?
Do you know how many homeless you have in Warrenton tonight?
I don't know, because you were going to bring that information, you keep going with the county, so, but it doesn't make any difference. Like
At
the mayor said,
38
we're going to
new
need
home-
to visit about the whole thing.
You average 100 homeless in Warrenton, and you had 38 new ones in the last few weeks. Wright City had been higher than you, which was an anomaly, and after 3 weeks it corrected, and they were down last week to just 9, which is great. But I'm just saying, the reason the statistics for the county matter is that 95% of the homeless are between Warrenton and Wright City. Marthasville, Dutzau, the surrounding Forestdale areas have an anomaly of 1 or 2. Our homeless are clustered right here. That's why it matters. Thank you.
All right. Next will be Board of Alderman comments.
I'd like to throw out a thank you to our garden club. I have come down through the Main Street, and the tulips look awesome. Kind of brightens up the area, and really shows off our community. And I'd also like to say I'm looking forward to whatever their next project or next flowers they're going to put in. So thank you to our garden club.
I agree.
Till the wind came along.
That wind wasn't friendly.
Hey, they held up at my house, so I'm pretty happy with that.
You got that little tucked away area.
Yeah.
I'd say it's probably, if they held up at your house, it's probably due to a missus that lives at your house that probably did good planting on those.
Thanks.
Not your green thumb.
Nothing on me, right?
Nothing on you.
So it needs friends.
Any other comments?
No.
Move on to Brandy Walters, City Administrator.
Good evening. The first thing that I have for you tonight is a code change for overtime. We had discussed this in our planning meeting and allowing vacation to be part of the overtime calculations. So this is a code change, and there is a bill for that change.
Okay. Questions on that from anybody? All right, I'll entertain a motion for the first reading of Bill number 22-23.
So moved.
Second.
Motion made by Alderman Porter, second by Alderman Cullen.
Bill number 22-23, an ordinance amending section 125.110 of chapter 125 of the Municipal Code of the City of Warrenton, Missouri regarding overtime.
I'll entertain a motion for the second reading of Bill number 22-23.
So moved.
Second.
Motion made by Alderman Crump, second by Alderman Porter.
Bill number 22-23, an ordinance amending section 125.110 of chapter 125 of the Municipal Code of the City of Warrenton, Missouri regarding overtime.
Roll call vote?
Alderman Crump,
Yes.
Alderman Quarter,
Yes.
Alderman Cullum,
Yes.
Alderman Jaspering.
Yes.
Well, the bill passes 4-0 with 2 absent.
The next thing I have for you tonight is the renewal of health, dental, and life insurance. And our new brokers went to our current healthcare providers, and their first instinct was a 16% increase. However, the brokers have renegotiated that down to 12% of an increase on health insurance for this year, which I know seems astronomical, but considering the environment, it's probably not as bad as a lot of things. We haven't seen double digits in our increases for quite some time. So the other one is our dental insurance will increase by 3% this year. That's about 99 cents for an employee only coverage per month. Life insurance will also increase. That's about a $724 increase to the city annually. And then our supplemental insurance and vision insurance will remain the same. Since that we put out this memorandum last week, Gallagher has come back to me with a couple different options that are a little less than the 12%. So we will, as we had discussed in our planning meeting as well, we will be able to give our employees maybe a couple different options. So we'll look at that closer before putting that out to them. So we won't have anything that's higher than 12% on that health insurance.
Any questions on that?
No.
I'll entertain a motion to approve the recommendation from the city administrator for health, dental, and life insurance renewal and supplemental insurance renewal.
So moved.
Second.
Motion made by Alderman Cullum, seconded by Alderman Crump. Roll call vote?
Alderman Quarter,
Yes.
Alderman Cullum,
Yes.
Alderman Jaspering,
Yes.
Alderman Crump.
Yes.
Motion passes 4-0 with 2 absent.
The last thing I have for you tonight is an update. Our utility bills went out. They were sent out on time this month. However, you guys may have gotten a lot of people that have talked about how late they have been getting them. We spoke to the post office. They sent all of their mail to St. Louis. And St. Louis returned quite a few of our utility bills back to this post office. They do not know why they returned to them, but they did. So our post office sent them back out, and they have not received them back for the second time. However, since there are several residents that have not received them on time, we are waiving all late fees this month. We will not be processing any of those. So,
Do you need a motion on that or no? Okay.
just an update. And that's all I have for you tonight.
All right. Thank you. Next, we hear from Director of Operations, John Struckoff.
Good evening. First thing I have for you tonight is the monthly admin report. One thing to note on there that we did get the police department Facebook page back up and going. Our communication specialist has taken that over and is working with the PD to get content back out on that. So we did add that to the admin report to show the statistics on that as well. So that's just something new on there that I'd up to note. Any questions on the admin report? Next thing I have for you tonight is the code change for the sewer laterals that we talked about in the planning meeting. This is a code change to relinquish the city from any liability of the sewer lateral up to and including the tap on the sewer main.
Right.
And I'd be happy to answer any questions on that.
I have any, does anybody else have a question?
I'll just make a comment. I know we talked about in our meeting, puts us with all the other cities, basically. We're the only city that never did this
Yeah,
before.
a lot of, some other cities do a sewer lateral program that we talked about a little bit in the planning meeting, and that's very labor intensive, and as far as bookkeeping goes, you know, there's a few other options out there that some other cities do, but I think the best route I think we should go with is a lot of insurance companies can insure those sewer laterals. So we will be putting out some information on social media, letting people know about this code change. So we're going to start working on that and get the word out there on that. So.
John, are we going to put something out there that there is such a thing as an insurance policy? You can reach out to your current insurance company or a specific type of insurance company to find out about So I'm sure some people may want to do something like that.
We can definitely include that in our,
I think it'd be a good tickler just for an opportunity to, instead of saying, hey, we didn't know, so
Yep.
give just something to educate people that don't understand a lot of this. Thank you.
Any other questions?
Nope.
All right, I'll entertain a motion for the first reading of bill number 23-23.
So moved.
Second?
Motion made by Alderman Cullum, second by Alderman Porter.
Bill number 23-23, an ordinance amending section 700.040 of the Municipal Code of the City of Warrenton, Missouri regarding buildings, sewers, and connections.
I'll entertain a motion for the second reading of bill number 23-23.
So moved.
Second. Motion made by Alderman Crump, second by Alderman Porter.
Bill number 23-23, an ordinance amending section 700.040 of the Municipal Code of the City of Warrenton, Missouri regarding buildings, sewers, and connections.
Roll call vote.
Alderman Cullum.
Yes.
Alderman Jaspering.
Yes.
Alderman Crump.
Yes.
Alderman Quarter.
Yes.
Bill passes 4-0 with 2 absent.
I do have a couple other things, just reminders. We have our citywide yard sale scheduled for May 6th. We'd moved that from the summer, like with a couple suggestions we had on that. So, and then May 13th, we have our citywide cleanup at the fairgrounds. So we thought that the weekend after, maybe people would not sell everything on their garage sale and not put it back away. So, you know, whatever you don't sell, you can bring to us and get rid of it, clean up the house. So, and then one other thing is we're still doing a lot of planning for the fall festival. So I'm going to be mentioning that every meeting from here on out to get the word out there. So it's going on as planned. So
I think the basis of the move to May 6th was everybody was talking about how blasted hot
Blasted
it
hot,
is
yep.
outside.
Yep.
When they're doing a citywide garage sale and decided to do it in this, or recommended that we do it in the spring. So maybe it's a little cooler and nice for people.
We're also going to be offering the parking lot at the aquatic center for people as well to
Set up a booth, as
to
long
set
as
up a booth.
weather permitting.
Yeah, yeah. And then we had actually a food truck inquire about that. So we actually blocked off some spaces for some food trucks to come to the
That's
aquatic
something
center.
we'll
So,
start picking up, that'd be great.
so you know, we can't have food trucks there every weekend, but that's going to be a weekend that everybody wants to be
I'm
there.
starting to see more and more turn up out here, so it'd be nice to kind of coordinate that and start maybe getting one weekend blocked off, or one night on a weekend that we can block off and just do food trucks in a certain area.
So,
You
come
know,
on out.
another thing on that is maybe when we have our music in the park, invite a couple of them out when it doesn't coincide with the VFW having their fish fries or barbecues or whatever. Something like that'd be kind of cool too.
I agree.
We can work with the park board and the Fine Arts Council with that, and I got plenty of contacts from doing the fall festival. So
Perfect. What are we, I'm assuming we're preparing, or things are getting ready to blow up on baseball tournaments and softball tournaments out at the park?
Yep. So there's, last I heard, I think there was about a half a dozen tournaments already scheduled. That number might be more than that by now. And I believe that we're going to have our first ever soccer tournament out there this year.
Oh, wow.
So that's the first one that I know that TSM has ever put on. I don't know if the city ever did before, but
Thanks, John.
Yeah, I think it is the first one.
so it's always been offered. We've just never had any
Yeah, I don't think it was always focused on softball or baseball.
softball,
And now
baseball. Yep.
It's
So
moved.
as of right now,
Glad
we
to
have
hear.
I believe we have a soccer tournament scheduled. So
Good. All right, thanks.
they've had their biggest year. I don't remember. It was like 800 kids or something registered for baseball, softball, and soccer.
Wow.
It was almost 1,000 kids registered this year. So it's the biggest year ever in registration. So
Great. It's great to hear that they're not in their house playing on their Game Boy or whatever
yeah,
it
it's
is.
definitely going to be a busy summer up there. That's for sure.
Good.
Did he say Game Boy?
He did say Game Boy.
Is Game Boy?
Yeah,
Is it Game Boy? What is it?
he did say that.
PS5.
Rock, paper, scissors when you were young.
I'm not sure we did that. Okay. That's the last one I had to buy, was a Game Boy, all right?
That's all I have.
All
Thank
right,
you.
thank you. Next, we're from Mike Cross, Building Commissioner.
Good evening, gentlemen. You have my monthly report.
few highlights, if you've been around town, you see the Elk Lodge has got a very large pavilion being built there. It's going to encompass the whole front of that building, add them some space that they sorely need.
Yes.
Tractor Supply has the pad done for their building, so we're just waiting for some final things on the foundation and footing and some rebar, and they'll be going on that. SSM's back under operation, and electrical and plumbing's all underground now, so we're just waiting on a few finals for that. Seeing as how the physical therapy part of SSM is a completely separate entity, so we haven't even got plans for that yet. So that's just kind of dragging their feet a little bit. The C-store's coming along quite well. We're starting to see some concrete work starting next week there.
At the Circle K that everybody thinks is fast lane around town?
Excuse me?
Is that the Circle K that everyone around town says is fast lane?
Yep.
I do too. We just discussed that, and I said I'm tired of correcting people. It just kind of gets old. It's like, okay, I guess you'll see when it opens. Don't know what else to say.
And Crazy Burrito King is going to be the restaurant.
So
there.
they did sign some.
I heard that.
Nice. Crazy. They've been asked that too.
Yeah.
Yes, Crazy Burrito King.
You heard it here first.
Yeah, you heard it here first.
They are franchised, so that'll be interesting when that gets up and running.
Never heard of them.
Yeah.
Look them up.
We actually got 16 lots sold in Pinckney,
Really?
and all the lots on Pinckney Manor, Banzi is developing there also.
So,
No way. Oh,
Yes.
wow, that's
it was,
awesome.
what was it, a month ago? It was 11. Now
Yeah.
we're up to, or not even
Now
a
they're
month.
16. They're doing almost a whole or two a week now.
Wow. Good.
So
Great.
moving quite along quite well.
Good.
Yep.
Awesome.
That's all I
Great
got
news.
for you, gentlemen.
Any other questions?
No. Great job, Mike.
Next will be Chief of Police Larry Eller.
Good evening. The only item I've got for you tonight is a non-functional microphone.
There you go.
The only item I've got for you tonight is a monthly report. If you don't have any questions on that, I'll shamelessly plug the upcoming torch run, which will be on May 26th.
May 6th?
26th.
26th.
It's a Friday. The details are still being worked out, but as usual, it's going to start somewhere in Wright City and end here. And in other news, our two academy graduates, or two academy recruits, just graduated, just started on duty, and I'll probably be introducing them next meeting. So we just got two.
Are we
Looking forward to
getting
that.
close to full staff, Chief?
I think that brings us down to 3 short still.
3 short. And we're still way short on working for John.
Public Works.
Sorry, I forgot to say that this month. We're still hiring, sorry.
And we're still hiring.
Any questions for Chief?
No, all good. Thank you, Chief.
Thank you.
Next, we won't hear from Director of Planning and Development, Tim Burks, but I'm sure we will hear from our City Administrator, Brandy
Yes.
Walter.
Unfortunately, Tim could not make it. He has his monthly report tonight. As most of you are aware, we did not have a P&Z meeting in April. However, we will be having one in May for May 4th. The most recent business he had open was a Mexican restaurant, or a Mexican grocery store, I'm sorry, over at the Shops at Warrenton.
Oh, okay.
So we welcome them.
Oh, yeah.
You guys haven't gone in there, it's kind of neat.
Yeah, I've been in there.
Is-
Got Coke there.
Yeah, they do.
Coca-Cola.
Coca-Cola. Pure sugar
The
wine.
good stuff. I got
Any
another
other
question
questions?
for Brandy, but not related to that. And sorry to spring this on you last minute. I just remembered. I had a lot of complaints from people in specifically Orange Blossom. Is that the one? Yeah, yeah. Because they don't get the mailers we send out. Because again, they do their water bill and everything through that company. Is there any way when we send stuff like that out, especially for election information, that we
about
get them copies of that?
Sure.
Because that's over 200 voters at least, I'm sure.
Absolutely.
And I'm sure there's
we add
other,
them to our list
I'm sure there's other
individually.
places in the city, but that's just the one in my ward that's, I get a lot of calls about
Okay.
that.
Do they
So-
get mail delivered there individually?
They do.
Do you know?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm sure it's something simple. Yeah, they all have a mailbox. So I'm sure it's something that the post office, as long as we give them to them and tell them,
Yeah, we can get that added to our list,
yeah,
for sure.
thanks.
Any other questions or comments?
Nope.
All right, I'll entertain a motion to close the regular Board of Alderman meeting.
So moved.
Second.
Not everybody jump at once on this.
Everybody's half asleep this evening.
We'll go for Alderman Cullum, seconded by Alderman Crump. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. We are so adjourned.
So adjourned.
Jeff's like, don't